حربة وسنة حلوة على هادي وصوت رصاص القايد حلوة دايما المدينة محت دموع المدينة محت دموع المدينة. ردوا معي الابواب جايها وشمالي ردوا معي الابواب جايها وشمالي. Our trusted president, said the great Iraqi poet Ahmad Matar, paid our town a visit and he came to our neighborhood and he said, "Tell me your complaints in public and don't you worry about any repercussions. That time is long gone." So my friend Hassan stood up and said, "Dear President, where's the food? Where's the water? Where's the affordable housing? We haven't seen any of this." The president said, "Oh my God, all of this is happening in my country. Thank you for pointing this to us, son. You're gonna see a change starting tomorrow." And after a year, the president came back, did the same thing. He said, "Share your complaints with me in public and don't you worry about any repercussions. That time is long gone." No one stood up. So I raised my hand and I said, "Dear President, where is the food? Where's the water? Where's the affordable housing? And excuse me, sir, where is my friend Hassan?" زار الرئيس المؤتمن إحدى ولايات الوطن. زار الرئيس المؤتمن إحدى ولايات الوطن وحين زار حينا قال لنا: هاتوا شكواكم في العلن. هاتوا شكواكم في العلن. هاتوا شكواكم في العلن. هاتوا شكواكم في العلن ولا. My name is Hadi Eldebek. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you, Habibi Festival. See you soon.
How amazing was Hadi Eldebek and his band, right? It really felt like I was back in Beirut for a moment. My name is Rami Abu Khalil, and thank you. I'm with Afikra. Afikra is a global organization that's dedicated to curiosity around the Arab world, the Arab world's histories, culture, arts. We actually were founded here in New York in 2014, and since then we've grown to more than 30 cities. So we really are all over the world. And we put together events both in person and virtually. So I encourage you to check out our podcasts, our videos, anywhere that you listen to your podcasts. We have amazing conversations with artists, historians, chefs, photographers, and architects. That's going to be a running theme here tonight. But also musicians. And actually one of these conversations is with Omar. So if you want a deep dive, I encourage you to find that on our podcast app. Omar Offendum, welcome to Joe's Pub. So this is a great opportunity for us to kind of frame the music that we're going to listen to today. I think one thing that really strikes me about your music is you have a kind of almost collage approach to how you put together your sound, your themes even. Tell us a little bit about that.
So yeah, first of all, thank you all for coming. Make some noise for yourselves for being here. Habibi Festival in the house. Thank you, Firas. Collage, yeah. I mean, I think it's just how I think. I went to, yeah, absolutely. I went to architecture school, you know, where that was like a big part of it. I grew up, you know, with this sort of cultural dissonance of being Syrian and Saudi, then here, moved to LA. My family's from Syria, but, you know, my mom lives in Cairo. I have, you know, aunts and cousins in Beirut. I have friends from all over the world. And so when I think about places that I call home, you know, it's really this scattered feeling. And what I try to do with my music is just kind of bring it all together under one umbrella.
وإلى شدو المسيسيبي استمعت حين مر به لينكن في دربه إلى نيوورلينز ومع الغروب رأيت أحضانه الطينية تتحول إلى كتل ذهبية لقد عرفت أنهاراً أزلية معتمة كما الغسق وروحي توغلت في القدم وروحي ازدادت عمقاً كالأنهار وروحي ازدادت عمقاً كالأنهار. When I say one, you say love. One.
Clap for yourselves, yo.
You know, you have there's this kind of a very intentional form of storytelling, and almost research-driven sometimes. I mean, you have a song about coffee that I love. That's really a kind of history of coffee. It's amazing.
Yeah.
But so there's the musical side of it, but I also want to highlight the poet side of it. And in Arab culture, I don't know if you have that saying in Syria, but in Lebanon there's a saying that says يحق للشاعر ما لا يحق لغيره, which means
Poetic license.
Yeah, it's poetic license. So the poet has rights that others do not, right? Both with language, but also with content, right? With meaning, with new perspectives, etc. So how do you see your role in that regard?
Well, it's a beautiful proposition, and I think for me, you know, I've gone through different phases with my life and my career. I've been doing this for 20 years, you know, if not more. And so it's something that I started out, I feel like, just trying to find my voice in first. And a lot of that involved sort of pulling from MCs that I grew up listening to, poets that I was inspired by, you know, emulating them in a lot of ways. And then as time went on, I started to find my voice, and I also found like the need to use the sort of platform to elevate ideas and issues that I think weren't being given the right amount of attention. And so that was, of course, issues related to Palestine, the war in Iraq, Afghanistan, and then eventually, you know, back home in Syria. And that took, you know, a lot of my sort of life energy, creative energy for a lot of years. And I think now I'm in a different place where I've taken all of that, which I did before. It's a part of me. But I'm also a father now. You know, I have children, and I see young people who grew up listening to me in a lot of ways, and I want to kind of give them a different goalpost to look forward to, you know? And so that still involves, like you said, research, history, trying to pull from different things that I find beautiful and delicious in this world. And then also still staying rooted in who I am, but with a sense of like hope and optimism that I think is important for young people to see. And I think, you know, all of that coming together in the form of a project like Little Syria, for example, that I had the privilege of working on with my dear friends, Rani Ma'ali, who's a Palestinian multi-instrumentalist and composer based in Chicago. And thanks, Joey, who's born and raised in Brooklyn, but currently lives in Los Angeles. They could not be here with me tonight. They're here in spirit. But we, you know, we brought this show to life, and it's been really such a dream of mine to be able to bring all of these things, such personal stories from my own family history, along with the incredible stories and insights from writers like Gibran Khalil Gibran, Amin Rehani, Mikhail Nuaima, Ilya Abimadi, all these incredible writers who lived here and who were inspired by life here in New York and wrote so eloquently in Arabic and sent those messages out to the world. And so in a lot of ways, that's what I try to do. And I think, it's really serendipitous that I have a lot of those. That I'm able to do it in New York City now. I moved here after 17 beautiful years in Los Angeles. I moved here a couple years ago to New York, to be more specific, not quite the city, but close enough. And yeah, it's a beautiful time to be here.
وقال سام خوري بل المكتشف تاجر في نيئي.
It's not done.
وقال علي أحمد بل المكتشف رحالة عربي. ولو رأيت يا سيدتي ما حدث عند ذاك من اللكم والشتم لما سألت فتى صغيرا مثلي هذا السؤال.
That's actually one of the beautiful little stories you find in the Fukahat section of Al-Funun, which was a publication by Al-Rabita Al-Qalamiyya, the Pen League, who lived here, wrote here, were inspired by life here in the early 20th century. That was written in 1913. That's the kind of stuff that inspired me to do Little Syria. Because I read that and I thought to myself, you know what, man? They were just like us. Just like us. Yeah. Yo. Adam had an apple, and Eve had an apple. Isaac had an apple, and Steve had an apple. The root of all evil fruit with which we all grapple. Shackled to our castles, cubicles and chapels. Gravity it baffles, leaving people speechless. How do we stay grounded when we're reaching for this weakness? Lotteries and raffles, prizes at the Preakness. Can't afford the phone, but they got us with the features. Sour as the peaches, sweet bitter bleakness. Touch screen glittering, secrets in the cheapness. Planned obsolescence, sequence of a cheap glitch spotted in the matrix. Why they gotta hate me for my helix? Needless, we gotta learn to beat this. Put it down, look around, bodies in a deep ditch. Dropping like a leaflet in a bombed out Middle East street. It's too little, too late for treatment. We give and you take, come on, that isn't even. Actions and reactions, it's just something I believe in. Like Allah in the weekend and bobbing to a beat and not caring about appearance if it's wisdom that you're speaking. Look, Adam had an apple and Eve had an apple. Isaac had an apple and with which we all grapple, shackled to our castles, cubicles and chapels. Gravity it baffles, leaving people speechless. How do we stay grounded when we're reaching for this weakness? Lotteries and raffles, prizes at the Preakness. Can't afford the phone, but they got us. Yeah, they got us with the features, boy. Yeah. It's usually that part of the show where somebody says, you know, Steve Jobs' father was Syrian. Yo, if Steve didn't care, we're not allowed to care. There.
You know, and you highlighted Little Syria, and it's funny, the first time I saw you in concert was, I'm aging myself here, but maybe 13 years ago or something. And I remember just being blown away. I was kind of fresh off the boat, so to speak, in New York, and to find this community of Arabs who were actively rethinking the Arabic language and actively rethinking modes of Arabic music in relation both to their presence here and presence there. And I remember even at the time thinking, okay, this is what Gibran must have been thinking about, Rihani must have been thinking about, Mikhail Naimi, all of these people who really reinvented contemporary literary Arabic as we know it. So, and Little Syria is that story. So I really encourage everybody to look into that. Musically and lyrically and aesthetically, who inspires you in the Arab world right now?
Oh wow! Right now. Yeah, no, I mean, it's really important to mention that there are so many incredible young artists, both in the diaspora and back home now, who are just doing beautiful things. I could rattle off a list of names, but the easiest way to find out who they are is just to check my story out on Instagram, because I'm probably supporting them and hyping them up in some way. I recently had the honor of performing at Public Records of Brooklyn with Faluka, who's really, really amazing from Egypt, and Nadina Ruby, a Sudanese singer and R&B artist. You know, I just see so many young talents that are doing amazing things. MC Abdul, the 15-year-old Palestinian from Gaza who just got here recently and is recording and doing amazing things. There are so many, too many to count, but I just feel like this is the kind of thing I dreamed of when I was coming up, you know? And it was lonely kind of at first with people like me and Narcy being some of the few who were trying to do what we were doing. And now I just see dozens who've never even heard of me and who are killing it. And that's exactly what I'd always dreamed of, honestly. It's so beautiful to see. And the fact that I'm still here and able to do what I do, I think, you know, hopefully shows folks as well that it's like, you know, not just this thing that you do when you're young, but this can be a lifelong quest to kind of really express what's inside you and to do it in a way that hopefully honors, again, the people who laid the foundation for you and gives room for those to come up as well.
See people applauding, why? We gon' be alright. Let's get the Sahara started now. يا ولاد محارب شدوا القوالب. يا ولاد محارب شدوا القوالب. يا ولاد محارب شدوا القوالب. يا ولاد محارب. Are you American? And not only that, Suri, not sorry, baby. No need to worry, baby. Are you American? Shoo. Not only that, Suri, not sorry, baby. No need to worry.
There was a lot of talk this year about hip hop because it's the, you know, the 50th anniversary of hip hop, etc. And you know, you clearly are in that legacy as well. So how do you position yourself there?
Yeah, I mean, it's something I've always wondered, you know. The only thing I know how to do is to try to honor the great MCs who inspired me by being the best MC that I could possibly be. I mean, that's as simple as that. And so when I hear Rakim, when I hear Nas, when I hear Busta Rhymes, when I hear Andre 3000, when I hear Yassine Bey, when I hear Kendrick Lamar, you know, those are the people who, you know, I try to live up to the standards of lyrically. And the same goes for people like Gibran Khalil Gibran, who's, you know, the 100th anniversary of the Prophet, you know, and it was published in 1923, making him the third highest selling poet in human history. Nizar Abbani, who, I mean, I had a family connection to growing up, and I have this little book of poetry that I was gifted back in 1997, signed by him. And wishing me the best on my poetic journeys. And it's like my most prized little possession. Having no idea back then that I'd be doing what I do now. So somewhere in between them and the fact that there are institutions like this one celebrating 25 years and making space for artists like me and many, many others to do what we do, I think it's all those things, 100 years, 50 years, 25 years. And for me now as a father, again, it's like really coming full circle. I lost my father when I was really young. And so to be now on this journey and seeing my beautiful children and my wife supporting me the way that they do, it's just what gives me the wind in my sails, as they say, really. And gets me up in the morning early, literally. Baba, let's go to the kitchen. And also, truthfully, it's what I look forward to the most when I'm on the road, is just coming home and holding my babies tight. Because I think these days and times you tend to forget. We're so distracted so much by so many things that really, that love at the core is the most important thing that can keep you sane, that can keep you grounded, whether or not you have children, family, friends, relationships. They're the most important thing. And that, to me, is, at the end of the day, what I try to do with my music, is just build community, communities like this. So thank you all for coming out once again.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Ahmed, for this wonderful conversation.
دمشق وهذه الكأس والراح إني أحب وبعض الحب ذباح. This is Damascus. And this is a glass of spirit comfort I love, but I'm aware of the fact that certain kinds of love can slaughter you in their wrath. I'm a Damascene being, dissect me into haves and have not, but grapes and apples fall in your path. Open my veins with scalpels, hear ancestral chants of heart transplants can cure some of the passion. And why does mine stay torn in half? And minarets crying tears of absence, like trees that so speak years have passed them. You can hear them asking for civil rights to live amongst tears of jasmine as house cats take naps relaxing. This is Damascus. Daddy was a mountain man, so naturally he was elevated. But poor me, I'm just an urban son, alas. To the streets I have been relegated, pedaling till I level up to the ecstatic heights of a nebula. Dervish of the dollar, serving the almighty treasurer, measurer of scales, alchemist of sales, circling around these city blocks with a box full of pretty socks and silver spoons, spinning tails to upper class woman, make them swoon. Cop coming, gotta duck and pass from them or I'm doomed. This is my life, street peddler highlights, and as a result, better than most is my eyesight. Learning the most from mistakes and hindsight, making a promise on my progenies is better than my life. Said it's better than my life, so much better than my life, so that one day they can wake up and say, we live a high life, that cardamom shy life. Early in the morning, just trying to provide life for my family, whatever it'll take. Silk bag by my waist, pedal trinkets by the case. When Mercedes to be mad, boy, nothing is too far for a chamois. Lots of directions all over the states. Watch the connection, so I don't gotta pay full price for my jammy. As long as I am able to put rice and lamb shanks on the table, give thanks. Putting cousins on my payroll till banks know my name. Omar. Speaking into existence what my ancestors dreamed of, glimpses near extinction. Scenes of crimson, all they knew. Now descendants teem with riches, posing for pictures, all aglow. A fortunate few who learn to touch the sky high, hands up, catching blessings like the dervish do. Adonai is not a realtor or a predatory lender, not a judge who can be bribed nor a crooked criminal defender. He is kindness and compassion, justice, mercy, fairness and togetherness, and of all praise, worthy the creator and sustainer of the moon and stars above. La ilaha illallah, hallelujah. God is love, God is love, God is love. Hallelujah, hallelujah, God is love. Say it, God is love, God is love. Hallelujah, where we going, Zafar? Win Aram Allah, win Aram Allah, Safir win Aram Allah, وما تخاف من الله، ما تخاف من الله، يا ويتك قلبي وما تخاف من الله. Hey, God is love, God is love, God is love. Hallelujah, hallelujah, God is love, God is love, God is love. Hallelujah, hallelujah, God is love. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's keep that round of applause going for Hadi and that incredible performance earlier this evening.
Give it up for Omar Offendum.
Thank you, Zafir. Zafir al-Tawil. I will be outside with my soap for 25 of you. And thank you again to Habibi Festival and to Joe's Pub for having us tonight. This has been beautiful. Check me out on Instagram at OFFENDUM. And have a wonderful evening, y'all. Drink up. Peace.